Asobi Asobase, not sure if I said it right, or Asobi Asobase. I don't know. But yeah, this is a very interesting manga. Like, I have never ever read a manga, even like remotely close to it. It's like, you know you're in for something when you're reading this manga, because it's like a wild ride. You never really expect it. So yeah. It's because of like the art style. The art style for this manga is extremely unique. It's like the author. It's like a 6-year-old of the inner author that just replaces the character. When you're supposed to draw it properly, the author instead lets the 6-year-old inner self draw it for him or her. And yeah, it's really funny. As for the plot, yeah, I'll move on now. As for the plot, there's not much to talk about the plot. It's just like every chapter is a different game that they will play. So that game is called the Playgirl Club, where they play games every day. Yeah. And the characters in this manga is extremely unique personality-wise. Like, they're full of personality. Like, you could say they're remotely close to some other characters, but yeah, I would say they're pretty unique. It's because like the way the author draws them and expresses them makes them so realistic. Like, it's really like those 3 girls that in your classroom that just always like on their own business. That's why you get kinda like relate to them and therefore somewhat emotionally attached to them. So yeah, it's really cool. It's just you want to see what the 3 girls would do like next chapter, and because you know you're in for a fun ride. And then there's also plenty of very very interesting side characters. Like, they're actually so good, bro. Like the different characters, they can't really do any spoilers since yeah. But yeah, that's like kind of about it. If you want to like have a laugh out of a manga, this manga is like definite for you. I know there's also an anime of this, which would definitely be funnier if the animation company know how to portray how the artist draws the females. But yeah, seeing them in action could be way more funnier. But yeah, and also there's the finished manga, so why not? Just give it a try. The second half of the manga is where this manga gets very interesting, since it's very different to the first half of the manga, which is very fun and I enjoyed reading it very much. But the second half is like so much more different to the first one. It's almost like a different story. Like, at like the last 30 chapters, we pretty much completely stopped seeing the first 3 girls goofing around, which is supposed to be what this manga is all about. But instead, it like focuses on other people of the school. But like, it's not funny anymore. Like, it's not what the manga is supposed to be anymore. And that's a really like weird part, since it's almost like a different manga. So it is really hard to get into the other character when the first half of the manga already got you like so emotionally attached to the girls. Like, you want to see them goofing around. You don't want to see the other girls doing the stuff that they are doing, even though it's in the same universe. Like, so yeah, it lost like the original essence to the manga that made me enjoy it. Like, now the main character becomes the side characters pretty much, and their personality, like how they're portrayed in the first half, is much more different to how they are portrayed in the second half. Like, you can still tell it's them, but you know that they changed. And the side characters in itself, it's not really that interesting. Like, it's honestly just like generic high school characters that if you can think of. but like compared to all the side characters in the first half of the manga, which is all really interesting, and I really actually like them. Like, so it kind of feels like the author is trying to imitate how a real high school year would be, but like it's not really what I want to see. It's not like the later half of the manga is bad. It's not what I want to see from the manga. It's not like what I expected. And the art style, it's much more different. Like, it's more generic compared to the first half, which is really weird. Like, you can see how the author is improving on their drawing, but it's like, yeah, sort of bad way, because I like how the artist draws in the first half. It's different, it's distinctive, and it really makes it feel like they're just goofing around. But yeah. And the ending is pretty mediocre. Like, a lot of the characters don't get a proper ending, especially some of my favorite side characters. It feels like the author kind of just like slapped an ending on the manga when like the author feel like ending it, not when the manga is like supposed to end. But overall, I think it's a really awesome manga and it's really fun to watch. But midway through, not saying it becomes bad, it's just it lost its uniqueness.